Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Whatever time of day I cross your platform, I hope it's a good one. Welcome to the Interest Wit Show. I'm your host, Interest. Before we get started, of course, I got to show you my outfit of the day, and I'm going to drop that link right in the description, and you can go check it out. Well, let's talk about why we feel guilty for outgrowing people. And I want to share a personal story with y'all on how I got my feelings hurt. I used to think that I had to stay connected to people that had been in my life forever or all my life. But then I realized that when you're walking in your purpose and you're growing, you're elevating, you can't take everybody where you're going. And once I tried to do that, I was oversharing. I thought I was doing a good deed for my family, trying to create generational wealth. But what I found out was somewhere deeply rooted, there's jealousy and envy. And when people are jealous of you and they envy you, man, you will get your feelings hurt. And that's what happened to me. So I learned the hard way, and I learned now that when God gives me a purpose or He's elevating me, sometimes you just gotta love people from a distance. Sometimes you just gotta keep quiet. You can't tell everybody everything, and you definitely cannot take them where you're going. So, what I want you to do is to continue to pray for discernment. I want you to pray for direction and pray for clarity. And don't be surprised when you pray to God and ask Him to remove people that means you know good. Because you're going to be surprised. It's going to be some people close to you. And it may hurt you a little bit, but again, you can't take everybody where you're going. So please don't get yourself hurt trying to do that. All right? I want to ask y'all, we're going to talk about this probably in another section, but I want you guys to think about this. Cheating. Over 40. If you're over 40, I personally believe cheating is overrated. Okay? So I want you guys to think about that, and let's talk about it on Thursday's show. So, what do you guys have going on this week or this past weekend? As I mentioned last week, I had death in my family, so I had to attend my aunt's funeral this past weekend, and I got a chance to mix and mingle with family. And we talked about how we really don't get together until someone pass away. It seems as if people can make time for a funeral, they can make time when people pass away, but when we're all here living and we want to get together, it's like everybody has a busy life and we just can't make time. But we got to do better at that. We need to make time for our family while we're in good health, while we're here, so we can celebrate each other life while we're here and not have to go to a funeral and celebrate somebody's death and then be able to say, "Oh, I haven't seen you in years, I haven't seen you in years." Reach out to your people. Reach out to people. And like I said last week, you guys, I was going to reach out to my aunt that Thursday and she passed that Monday morning. And it really hurt my feelings because I should have went to see her. I should have reached out like I said I was. So just make sure you reach out to your people, and we just don't have to come together on sad occasions all the time. Get your family together so that your children can know who their family members are. And moving on to Nolan Wells. What happened to Nolan Wells? His parents recently went on an interview with Good Morning America, and I want to show you a clip of that video. Wells' cell phone was returned to his mother the night of his disappearance. How did Wells get separated from his cell phone? Now, one of the guys that he was with that night had his cell phone, and when his mom got his phone back, it looks like messages were deleted and his Snapchat videos were gone, which was unusual. We do have people that have stepped up. Colin Kaepernick has helped funded the autopsy, and looks like Tyler Perry will be covered. And looks like Tyler Perry will be covering the funeral expenses. Let's just keep this family in prayers, and we just pray that justice is served for Nolan Wells. Parents, I want you to remind your kids, and this is not a race card. This is for everyone because it could happen to anyone. Remind your kids that when they're out with their friends, do not separate from them. And if their friends happen to be intoxicated and they demand that they're going to be separated, call the parents. Let the parents know. Because in this case, they didn't call the parents until later that night. And again, this is an ongoing investigation, so I don't know all the details, but they should have called early and say, hey, Nolan did not return back with us. We're headed back to land. He decided to stay. Make sure that they contact the parents and let them know what's going on, because you just never know what's going to happen. Even if they didn't have anything to do with it, the parents can go look for other people. But right now, they're looking at them because of all the stuff that happens. Because how did you end up with Nolan's cell phone? How did he get separated from his cell phone? So again, I send my sincere condolences to his family, and we just pray that justice is served.
And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would. Like,
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group.
You said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like, they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, like, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like, I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
And man, T.I. says he's retiring from the rap game. Kill the King, maybe his last album. The family recently did an interview with People magazine, and he talked about his history of hustling and how he met Tiny and how they raised their seven children in the home. And now he says, one day they'll all be out on their own, doing their own ripping and running, and he's retiring from the rap game. It goes on to talk about, the family hustle and how he opened up his family to the public. And he said he does not regret that, because he even gets to go back and look and see how King, watching Major grow up. Major now he's off to college, and King and his son Damani is now on tour. They both are rappers, and I love this family because they are a family. They're connected, even though they both had outside kids. They just came together and raised all seven of their kids in the same home, and those kids, they have a lot going on. We've seen King in the media a little bit, quite often, but not anything that T.I. can't handle with King. But those kids really have a lot going for themselves, and this family has really stuck together. I feel like he and Tiny are great parents. Congratulations to you, T.I., on your retirement at 45. Keep doing what you do. Let's talk about Brandy. The internet can be real cruel. Brandy recently showed back up in on social media, and people were, I guess, body shaming her. From the comments, some people say that it was out of concern, and some people are just cruel. Some people are just rude. You never know what people are going through. Brandy calls out body shaming in an IG post, Quote, may we become gentler with one another. She urged people to remember you are looking at someone's child before you speak about someone's body. Everyone is carrying a story that we cannot see. And she's absolutely right. You know, we can get behind these social media apps and we can be so cruel to people without knowing their story and without knowing what's going on. There's a lot of people that have health issues. And if you are concerned about Brandy, I mean, that's, express your concern, but be nice. Be nice to people. You never know people's story, and you never know when it can happen to you or someone in your family. And I'm sure you would not want this to happen to you. And but some people are who they are, and they're just mean. So stop being mean to people without knowing their story, okay? Big Tigger's wife, Alicia Brown, is back in the media again. This time, something a little different. A lady has stepped forward in her son's father's case involving Brown. Martina Moss is speaking out after seeing recent viral videos, including Big Tigger and his wife, Alicia Brown. Moss says the footage immediately brought back memories of a 2015 case involving her son's father, Raymond Joyner, and she's now asking for help as she seeks a closer look at his conviction. So apparently, Brown and Joyner had some altercations or something, and he's serving a 25-year prison sentence. He's been in prison for 11 years. But I want you to see this video that Miss Moss posted on Instagram. Here's what she had to say.
Hey, that's me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in 2015, Ramon Joyner, my baby father, he was incarcerated due to Alicia Brown, who were just arrested, saying that he raped her, beat her, and tied her up. Ever since then, he has been sitting in prison. He was in Delaware. He just recently got transferred to Florida. But yes, with this new information that came to light in regards to Alicia Brown, I do believe that gives us something to look over his case. Don't get me wrong. My baby father is not a saint. He has done his dirt and he has paid for it. But in regards to what happened that night, he did not rape that woman. And he's been saying that since day one. And it took me a while, but I do believe that he was telling the truth the whole entire time. And then with this new information about her doing it to multiple men throughout the past 11 years, it makes it just make more sense. If you look at his documents, you can look it up online. Just type in Ramon Joyner, Delaware, and his court documentation will pop up. It's not hard to find. If you read through the paperwork, you will see she was switching her story. It went from one thing to another, and it was just all nonsense. When the case was going on, we truthfully didn't think it would stick because it was so extreme, but that was not the case. And now he's sitting in jail and has been for 11 years. So I'm just trying to get in contact with somebody in the legal system in Delaware to just look over Ramon's case. And if there is any possibility to look into appeals or whatever the case is, can we connect and get to that? Just get my story out, please. Tell everybody you know, and just get me to the right person. That's the only thing I'm trying to do, because my son deserves the truth more than anything. So just get me to the right people, and more is to come about the situation, about everything that's going on. I have a long story time for y'all, but yeah, let's get us to someone who can do something. Share, like, repost. I'm new to this social media world. I'm definitely new to people being in my business. So keep it cute in the comments. I don't even really want to be on camera, but that's what makes the most impact. So that's why I'm on here speaking to y'all all today. So Yeah, let's get my baby father's story out and get it to the right people so they can just look over his case. If nothing comes from it, so be it. He was at the wrong place, wrong time, doing the wrong thing. But I do believe it does deserve a second look, if anything.
Now that's some deep stuff. Miss Brown, Miss Brown. And before I let you go, I want you to be the person that people looks at and say, damn, this MF never quits. I want to encourage you to keep going. Do not quit. Rest, but don't you dare quit. Thank you for listening to the Interest Wit Show. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a great week.